this pandemic war games called Event 201. They actually bragged about this online. They made their own little sizzle reel, their own highlight reel, showing exactly how this worked, who was involved in it, what they were talking about, who was making the calls, the very dramatic readings that individuals who were participating in this would go up to the podium and say what was happening next, like how many people had died, which hospitals were overflowing, who was going to make the decisions. They made a little highlight reel, which I think is worth watching. So let's take a look.
It began in healthy-looking pigs, months, perhaps years ago. A new coronavirus spread silently within herds. Gradually, farmers started getting sick. Infected people got a respiratory illness with symptoms ranging from mild flu-like signs to severe pneumonia. The sickest required intensive care. Many died. Experts agree, unless it is quickly controlled, it could lead to a severe pandemic, an outbreak that circles the globe and affects people everywhere.
The mission of the Pandemic Emergency Board is to provide recommendations to deal with the major global challenges arising in response to an unfolding pandemic. The board is comprised of highly experienced leaders from business, public health, and civil society.
We could be looking at double the number of cases in 1 week and 16 times as many in a month if we are not able to stop the spread. That would be on the order of 500,000 cases, and it would continue to rise exponentially. In 3 months, we could be approaching 10 million cases.
We're at the start of what's looking like it will be a severe pandemic. And there are problems emerging that can only be solved by global business and governments working together.
Okay, so a couple things to know. Remember that was their own little sizzle reel that they put together that gave us a glimpse inside this war game that they staged, right? This was in October of 2019, just months before COVID-19 that we became aware of it. I don't want to say before it started because we don't really know when it started spreading in China. But before we became aware of it, in the United States or even in China, this was just months beforehand. That man at the end, Tom Inglesby, you're gonna wanna put a pin on that name because we're gonna talk about him in a little bit more depth because he's a power player in this. But one of the notes that perhaps is relevant to this discussion, perhaps it's not, this was just an observation I had. I watched this video a couple times. You can see the fear in these people's eyes. This is supposed to be a simulation. What they're doing is they are pretending that there is a coronavirus that was somehow weaponized, that accidentally got leaked from a lab, that's been spreading. It jumped from these healthy pigs that they showed on the screen, and it's spreading to people all around the world. And this is supposed to be pretend. This is fake. This is a simulation. It's not real. And yet, the individuals who were announcing the developments in their war game, in their simulation, you can see the fear in their eyes. These are the same people. These are the same people who were ultimately making the decisions and giving the advice to politicians during the real outbreak of COVID-19. Hi guys, it's Liz Wheeler. Don't forget to watch my show, The Liz Wheeler Show, every night at 7 p.m. on the First TV. You can download the free First TV app, or you can visit thefirsttv.com/Liz and start watching today.